Hello everyone, welcome back to Everyday Magic with Foster the Meeple. My name is Jamie and today I wanted to chat about the Hobby of the Month Club for March. So for anybody that doesn't know, you can go back and watch a previous video, but I decided that this year I wanted to try some new hobbies, to focus on doing like something for fun, something new, just trying new things basically. So if you missed that first video, I'll link it in the description. You could definitely go and watch it because I outline what all of those hobbies are for the year. For March, we are starting off with meditation. And I'm very excited for this because I feel like this might be the most needed, and I don't actually even know if this is considered a hobby, but we're going with it for sure. So what I was thinking of just for these Hobby of the Month Club videos is that I would do them in like 3 parts. So part 1, the first video of the month, is really all about like the research phase, kind of going over what I've learned and how I'm preparing and all of those things. And the second video will either be like a check-in or maybe even a live stream of the hobby if it's something that's like shareable. So maybe Lego meditation, maybe not, because that would be very distracting. And then the third video will be like a vlog, kind of wrap up with my thoughts on the hobby, how it went, all that good stuff. And I'll typically not be doing all of those videos here in the studio. I just happen to be in the studio today. So that's where we're doing this first one. As I sit here and wait for my DoorDash, my Tim Hortons is on its way. I may need to take a break to go grab my coffee. Yeah, so this month we're starting off with meditation, and I thought maybe we could start by talking about like my experience with meditation, if I have any, all of that good stuff. I have my laptop here because I do have some notes. I'll lean it down so you can't see it in the shot. My background, my education, and my previous work experience is in psychology. So I have many degrees, but one of them is in psychology. And from there, I ended up getting into recreational therapy. And rec therapy, it's a big part of that is mindfulness, meditation, like all of those things. So I do have a little bit of experience with this kind of thing, but primarily less so for me and more so for creating those programs for my clients or my residents when working at long-term care, those types of things. So I've done lots of mindfulness stuff in particular, but ultimately I would consider myself pretty new and inexperienced in the way of meditation, enlightenment, whatever it might be. I think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for me because I have, as many of you I'm sure also have, one of those minds that just doesn't ever stop. And that's why I feel like this is needed. But I think it's going to be interesting. So maybe to start this video today, my research phase, because I think it's going to be important for all of these new hobbies. I'm going to have to learn about them. I'm going to have to learn how to do them. So I thought I would share what I found out with all of you. First thing that I wanted to talk about, obviously, is like what even is meditation. And so I've looked up a bunch of stuff about it to ensure that I'm not just kind of making it up as I go along. But essentially, meditation is a practice that involves focus. You're trying to achieve a state of calm, relaxation, awareness, mental clarity, those kinds of things. And, you know, it's been used for thousands of years. So this is nothing new. I'm not like discovering this for the first time, but it is widely used for things like stress relief, self-awareness, and just mental well-being, all of which I feel like I need. So for anybody that also doesn't know, and my husband Jeff, who is also on this channel, he talks a lot about his journey with anxiety and mental health and all of those things, and I don't really talk about it that much because I'm a bit more of an inside person, whereas Jeff is a bit more of an outside person with sharing. But I do struggle with things like anxiety, you know, depression, and all of those types of things. A lot of my anxiety is actually extremely specific. Like I've been to psychologists before. Specific, I'm meaning like I have a phobia, I have a emetophobia, and it has severely impacted my life. So I went to a psychologist for that. It got a little bit better. It gets a little bit worse. But I think this meditation stuff is hopefully going to be a tool that I can use to manage that. I also struggle with burnout and overwhelm and all of these things, which is one of the reasons that led me to eventually leaving my full-time job and doing content full-time. It's good for the mental health. So that's kind of where I'm at in my general headspace. Now, as I was looking things up, there's a bunch of different kinds of meditation that we can do. And so I'm going to talk about like the different kinds, and then I'll talk about which ones I think will work for me and that I might want to try. So the first one is mindfulness meditation. This is the one that I'm the most familiar with because I've created a lot of programs around mindfulness. And just, you're like, weren't you in marketing? And yes, my career journey has been a very weird one. If you would like to know more about that, maybe I can make a video about that sometime. But anyways, so mindfulness, and really what mindfulness is, it's just being present in the moment, paying attention to things like your breath and your body sensations. And if you're eating, like really tasting the food and savoring it and those types of things. So this is the one that I'm the most familiar with. It's just mindfulness. Of course, there's guided meditation. Now, I feel like we've all probably done a guided meditation. When I was in school, we did oh, my food's here. BRB. Tim Hortons, not a sponsor. Working at this studio is great, except I now have access to DoorDash. I just want my coffee for right now. Oh, yes. I'm going to mindfully drink that coffee and savor every last drop. Where were we? Meditation. So the next kind is guided meditation, and I feel like this is something that like everybody has probably tried. We even did it in school. I remember I can't remember if it was like in a gym class or something, but you walk through the guided meditation and you listen to someone talk and you kind of visualize it as you go. So this is something that I have done before, and I think this is probably like maybe the easiest kind for me because I have something to focus on instead of just being left alone in my head. And I think it's like great for beginners. So this is a good one. There's a type called transcendental meditation, which is basically like using mantras, a repeated word or a repeated phrase that helps you quiet your mind. This one is one that I know that I'll struggle with because it makes me feel silly. But we'll see. If I could just do it in my head. It says silent mantra, so I don't know. We'll see. There's one called loving kindness meditation, which focuses on generating feelings of like compassion for yourself and for others. Another one that I would struggle with. I think I'm relatively compassionate towards others. Maybe a little bit less so towards myself. The next one is another one I have done, and that is body scan meditation. This is one that I used in therapy for my emetophobia. And really it's just kind of like, and I used it at work as well, but it's just kind of like you start at your head and you just like slowly process and like actually like stop to feel how things are feeling. Like, does your head hurt today? Okay, well, we'll check that. And how's your eyes? How is your nose? You go all the way down your body. So I have done that one, familiar. There's, of course, Zen meditation. Zen, which is a more structured form of meditation, which involves like, when you think of people meditating and like doing this kind of thing, like that is Zen meditation. I think when people think of meditation, this is what they're thinking about. And you're just being one with yourself and you're not thinking about anything, which I think is nearly impossible to do, but we'll see. And the last one is movement-based meditation, which I have also done. So like yoga, Tai Chi, walking meditation, like, doing like labyrinths, like walking through mazes or labyrinths. This is another one that I've done specifically through work. And of course, there's probably other types that I don't know about, but from the limited research that I did, that's what we've got. I looked up some recommended tools for meditation, and then I've picked some that I think I am going to potentially try, and I wanted to share those with you in case you have any thoughts or you want to try these as well. The first one is the first list are their apps. So the first one's called Headspace, which it has like structured lessons. It's great for beginners. I'm going to put on the screen whether or not there's a cost for it on all of the things I'm talking about. But Headspace is an app. It's one that I've definitely heard of, but I've never used it. There's another app called Calm, which is more focused on like relaxation. It's very like sleep focused. I have been really struggling with sleep. I don't sleep. I stay up super late until like 1, 2, whatever in the morning. I wake up at like 8, and I just kind of go about my day. And I know that that's not a healthy sleep schedule, basically. Anyway, something like that might be helpful. There's an app called Insight Timer, which it's free and it has a big library of guided meditation. So I think I might try that one. And there's a few others, but I think those are the 3 that I'm probably going to focus on. Then, I love YouTube. And so I got some recommendations for YouTube channels. And the first one is called The Honest Guys, which has gentle guided meditations. So I might try that because YouTube is free. And we love a free resource. And I also love a coffee. It's very hot. I felt the sensation of it burning my mouth. Unpleasant, but delicious. There's Yoga with Adriene, which she has some meditation and breathwork classes. I used to do yoga every day. Yoga was like my main form of exercise. I freaking loved it. And Yoga with Adriene is a YouTube channel that I always used to watch for my yoga stuff. So I'm definitely kicking back on her train. There's one called Great Meditation, which it says it's simple and effective short meditations. And sometimes you got to have things to be short in order to get them done. And then there's someone called Jason Stevenson who does sleep meditation. So we'll see about that. Anyways, then there's also different music and soundscapes that you can use. So I found a couple of Spotify and Apple Music playlists, but basically if you look up meditation music and Zen focus, you're going to find something that's helpful for the meditation process. So that's kind of what my plan is. If you have any like suggestions or recommendations for other resources, put them in the comments, or you can join our Discord because there is a Hobby of the Month channel now, and each month there will be a thread for that specific thing that we're trying, and people can put in their recommendations, what they're trying, and we can kind of support each other through it. There's a bunch of people already chatting in there, very excited about all the hobbies. So for this month, personal challenges for me. Every month, this is what kind of the format that I'm going to do. I'll set myself a plan, maybe some goals, and then ask myself a question at the end. And I'll do that for every hobby that I'm doing. I feel like this one's a little bit more intense than like coloring or rock painting, but who knows? So my plan, my goal is to meditate every other day for a month. And that could be anywhere from like 5 minutes to an hour. It doesn't matter so long as that I do it every other day. Initially, I was going to try to do it. Actually, I think I'm going to try to do it every day because if I'm not actually setting myself up with this challenge, then what am I doing? And if I don't hit it, it's not a big deal. But I do think like if you're trying to get into the practice, maybe I'll try to meditate every day, especially if I can do something that's only like 5 minutes. Why wouldn't I do that? So the goal, meditate every day, whether it's 5 minutes, an hour, whatever, different kinds, whatever it might be. So my goals here are to reduce my stress and improve my focus. I'd like to try different types of meditation. I almost said medication. Maybe, we'll see. Maybe I need that after this. I'll try different types of meditation. So I want to do guided. I want to do the silent one. I want to do breath work. I want to do movement. And like I said, I'll be kind of vlogging my journey through that and all the different ones that I try. And then I also want to track in my bullet journal how it affects my mood, my sleep, my productivity. So I might set up a whole, like, I think I'm going to set up a hobby section for the bullet journal for all of the Hobby of the Month Club stuff, to keep track of whether I'm doing it, what I did, all of that good stuff. And then, like, for me, for meditation, I think the big question is just going to be, does it make a noticeable difference? Is it something that I enjoy doing and that I might want to try? I don't know. That's kind of the big question. Does it work for me? Here are the hobby stats for meditation for this month. The cost is free. You can do this for absolutely nothing if you use YouTube and the internet, or if you just want to like sit and breathe, do yoga, like all of that stuff you can do for free. So this is like, on the scale of the hobbies that we're going to be trying over the next year, this is probably the cheapest one. Lego is probably going to be one of the most expensive ones. Time commitment, I think, is going to be pretty low, but it is going to require consistency and commitment, because if I want to do it every day, but if it's only 5 minutes a day, like, you can do anything for 5 minutes a day. If I can sit and scroll TikTok for 5 minutes a day, which is my current form of meditation, then I can do this. Difficulty, I think, is going to be easy, but I think it's going to be easy to like start because you could just sit and do something, but I think it's going to be really hard to maintain focus and to be successful at it. I don't know. So this is kind of a range. I think the difficulty level ultimately is decently easy. Like, you don't need to learn like crochet. Like, I don't need to learn a whole new like motory skill. Messiness. So these are all the categories that I'm going to be ranking everything on. But my initial messiness is going to be minimal. All you need is a quiet space, which for some people that is not easy. And social factor, this is mainly solo. You can obviously do these things with friends. Like, you could do a guided meditation maybe in a group, which is what I would have done before, or there's definitely mindfulness activities you can do in a group, but for me, this is going to be mainly a solo activity. That's my plan. That's kind of the outline for how the Hobby of the Month stuff is going to go. How this first video is usually just going to be some research, my goals, what my plan is, and then we'll do some kind of a live stream or an update, and then we'll do a vlog with everything at the end. But I want to make sure that I always get this kind of video out at the beginning of the month so that we can kind of all get on the same page. And then you can let me know what your goals are in the comments or in the Discord, because I would love to not do all of these things by myself. But I would love to know, like, do you already meditate? Do you have resources that you recommend? Please join me this month and keep me posted on how you enjoy it or how you hate it, because I don't know, maybe I'll hate it. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. That's the whole point of exploring all of these different hobbies, is to figure out if I like any of them, which I know some of them I'm going to like, but some of them probably less so. The next video that we're going to have now with meditation, obviously a live stream doesn't really make sense. So I might just do a different kind of video for that second video, maybe like a little progress update or whatever. But the challenge is going to go from March 1st to 30 days past September, April, June, and November. March 1st to 31st. Do you know how I learned that rhyme? If you know where that comes from, 30 days past September, April, June, and November. It's not a leap year. It's from Little Rascals. Anyways, that's where I learned that from. But yeah, let's see if meditation makes a difference. I'm excited to be relaxed. I hella need to get relaxed because I am wound super tight. That's everything that I have for you today. Please subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Like the video, do all that good stuff. But thank you for watching. I hope to see you again soon, and happy meditating. Goodbye. Now I'm going to eat. I'm going to mindfully eat and drink my coffee. So you can mindfully drink coffee, you just like sip it, and then you feel the hotness go down.